Hi everybody, it's me, Amanda again, and time for another very corny adventure in MANDILAND. Um, Sorry it's taken me so long to get back to all of you. Life's been just a little crazy. Um, Shortly after my last video, um, I fell very ill. Overnight I sparked a fever of 102.9, and by the morning I was turning blue, and they had me on full settings on my vent, and it wasn't working. So they rushed me out of Kindred and over to Delima, where I was diagnosed with a pretty severe case of pneumonia. My family was very afraid they were going to have to sedate me again. Luckily, we got it before it went that far. On a happier note, the subject of this video is going to be about love and family. Coming up in about little over 2 short weeks away, my mother and father will have been married for 30 years. They got married May 11th, 1985. And I was born later in November. And the next year, my brother was born. They beat all the odds. Right from the beginning, everybody told them it wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to last. They shouldn't, even make, a goal. But, they always taught me not to be a quitter and to fight for the things you want. And they have been an example of that for me from day one. We went through all the normal struggles every family goes through, and luckily enough, we were there enough for each other that we made it through all of it, not unscathed, not by a long shot, but we made it through. And it was that love that we had for each other and the willingness to hold on to our family no matter what. I remember me growing up a few times begged them to get a divorce because, when you're that age in the fighting, you just, sometimes you can't take it and you just want it all to stop. But what I've realized as an adult and after having been married is that the fighting is actually the healthy part. It's so much better than holding it in and letting it build up and letting it truly destroy the family in it. I've been very lucky that after 30 years, my parents still love each other to the ends of this earth. And people that know us and see them may not always think that. But, one of the things my family has taught me over and above so much else is that you work through it, you keep pushing through it. And it doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what they think. It's what we think of ourselves, what we think of our family. And they are the most amazing people I could have ever not even knew I would be. God truly, truly blessed me. He gave me a mother who is such a rock and such a stronghold in our family and doesn't even know it, doesn't even get how much she centers all of us. And a dad who would fight for all of us to the very end, would take down any enemy no matter what they had to do. whatever they brought against us. And he has in ways, and he does it full-heartedly, without question, without even thinking about it. He automatically will jump in front of, anyone for any of us. But the truly miracle part of this is my parents do this not just for us, not just for our family, but for everyone that they meet and comes in contact with them. And they've taught my brother and I that even, if your blessings seem small, to always help others whose blessings may not be there at all, or they feel like they aren't. Family and God comes first, but you take care of others too. Mom and Dad used to joke that Brent and I collected people, and that's not saying anything bad about any of you that have been in our lives, because we have all loved you beyond belief, and you've all made serious impacts on all four of us. You guys have changed our family, but mostly for the better. There's been a few that cause more problems than good, but that's to be expected. Nothing in life is perfect, ever. But if everything in life was perfect, it'd be boring. My parents raised me that no matter what, you help out people that need the help, even if you need help yourself. If you see someone that you can help, you stand up and you do what you have to help that person. And then teaching us that, they never made it like it was supposed to be a chore or a rule. They put it into us so that we feel a privilege to be able to help someone else out. It's a want that we have, not just a need, not just it's doing the right thing. It feels good to help someone else out, to provide them with what they may not have otherwise, because people have done it for us. We've been very blessed along the way with people that have helped us out, especially our church families, that it stepped in when there was no other recourse. They've stepped in and they've protected us and provided for us. And honestly, none of us feel like we do even close to enough to make up for everything they've done for us. And we're still fighting every day, every month, every year, every moment to give back to our faith and to the people who had faith in us. Pardon me, just a moment. It's important to us to help, religion. Those of you that know us may not know this, but our faith in God, our Methodist faith, it's what grounds us as a family. We know, with everything we've been through, with all of my health scares, with all of the scares my parents had growing up, and with everything with my brother and my grandma, and all of our extended family, we know very much that God is real and God is love. And, that even when the bad things happen, it's not punishment. That's one of the things my mom and dad really, really provided for us, was that, the bad things in life, they're not punishment. They are God saying, look, I know you can handle this. I know you can take this on, and you can thrive, and you can succeed, and you can help others. That's, my family is one of the reasons why I don't look at what's happened to me as a tragedy. Yeah, no. At first, yeah, it felt like a tragedy, but now it's an opportunity to reach out and to help people that are going through what I've been through. And I'm lucky enough that my family supports me in that, you know. And moving on, the other two people in my life for my immediate family, like there's three, but the first two, the ones I'm directly blood related to, you know, my grandmother. God truly blessed me with one of the most amazing grandmothers I could ask for. Um, if everybody knew the trials and tribulations that my grandmother faced, you'd be surprised, because people look at her and they see strength, and they see faith, and they see this woman who's, you know, gotten through everything and come out on top, and they have no clue the things my grandma has overcome. You know, she is literally probably one of the strongest women I've ever met in my life, and her and I have a special relationship. It really is something, you know, special, and it's because I make an effort to have a relationship with my grandmother. You know, the family joke is that I'm grandma's favorite. Well, even if that is true, it's because I make the effort to call my grandmother, to spend time, you know, to ask the questions, to be actively in our relationship. And I love her to pieces. She's usually the one I go to first with all my secrets. No offense, Mama. I love you, and I always do come. But Grandma's grandma. And I've been blessed with her. And so is my brother and my mom and my dad. You know, I don't know who all knows, but my mom's mother passed away when my mom was very, very, very young. She was only about 3.5, 4 years old. And, you know, when my mom met my dad and my grandmother stepped into her life, my mom doesn't think of her as her mother-in-law. You know, grandma is her mom. And to her, you know, there is no blurred lines there. You know, it's the five of us. Or, you know, it was the five of us. Okay. And so the next person is my brother. You know, there is no relationship in your life like a sibling. My brother is my world. He is my best friend, my brother, my hero, my everything. Like, I feel very privileged because for years, you know, we believed totally and relied totally on each other with every secret, with every surprise, with every joy, every disappointment. And we still do. But he's had the wonderful luck of finding who is a beautiful soul in my sister-in-law, Elaine. And I love her dearly. She is the sister I didn't get to have. And that's not to say all you girls out there I consider my sisters aren't enough. You guys are. And I love you very much. But she is the sister that, you know, it's that different relationship. And most of you, my friends, you know, you're married now, or your siblings are married, and you know what it's like. It's a different, special relationship. And I'm lucky enough to get along with my sister. And she is funny, and she is kind and talented beyond belief. And truly has a heart and soul of gold. And we were blessed the day she stepped into our family. We really were. Um, and I hope and pray that we're there for her the way she needs us to be. Um, because she is so amazing and so worthy of love and care and honesty and, these wonderful, great things. I love you, Elaine, and thank you for everything you do for me. You really are just one of the most amazing women. You and I have had a shared tragedy now, and that, I feel, brought us a lot closer. Unfortunate, in the unfortunate circumstance it was. But I feel truly like I did get the sister that I prayed for growing up. And I love you for that. And I love you for standing by me and for being the first one when you know who did you know what, to really want to tear them a new behind for what they had done to me. And it really meant the world to me. And you do that with everyone. You protect me like your blood related sister. And to me, I'm so happy that you were in my brother's life. I am so happy that you're my sister. I'm so happy that you've stuck by all of us through all the nonsense and craziness, and you do it wholeheartedly and without conviction. So thank you. And to round back around, because I don't feel like I said enough about him, is my daddy, Brent Harris Sr. You are the best dad I could have ever asked for in the world. I know we all always act like we love you the way we're supposed to, but believe me, we do. And all the fights and anger sometimes, they're just a way of releasing that love in not the right fashion. But we do. You've protected us and taken care of us, and been the wall between us and this big bad world. I have always felt safe with you, and I know you and we have a very special relationship, Daddy. I love all our late night talks, and I love that you challenge me to think things through and to always be willing to listen to other people's points of view, and I love that we do have that true daddy-daughter relationship. My favorite memory and my favorite photos are two different ones. One from when I was a baby and I was playing on your lap and crawling all over you, and you had this huge, beautiful smile on your face, and it warms my heart every time I look at that photo, and it makes me melt. And the other one was, 20 some odd years later, the day that I got married, and you were walking me down the aisle, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember just smiling and laughing, and in that moment I felt like you were so proud and you love me so much, and I feel that way every day. But that photo is so precious to me, I can't even explain. And I love you endlessly, Dad. And in all of this, talking about all of this and about these 5 very special people in my life, is because we're coming up on my parents' 30th wedding anniversary. They taught me that you don't give up. And sometimes giving up is walking away from a bad situation. As most of you know, I'm getting divorced. And I was always, for a long time, I was disappointed in myself. Because I believed that you work at marriage. My parents instilled that in me. That you don't just give up because something's broken. You work to fix it. But the other part of the lesson, the one I didn't quite get or understand as well, was it's not giving up. When you step away from a bad situation, it is loving yourself enough to walk away from something that's beating you down or taking the joy out of your life, and that is the right thing. So I appreciate that. I think that people always told my parents they weren't going to survive or they weren't going to last because they were a little jealous, And I think over the years, something that's been so important is that my mom and dad proved to the world that their love was strong enough, and still is to this day, strong enough to overcome any battle. And all I can ask is to one day find a love that endures through the heartache and the pain and the bad things, but triumphs in them and excels far beyond in the good times. A family that is always there for one another. But they always taught me this, that it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to not always be the person you should or you want to, as long as you continually work at it, and as long as you love with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul. That is the mark of a successful person. That is the mark of a good person. Somebody that has faith in the good things, even when the bad things seem overwhelming. So in conclusion, because this is getting super long, I want to say, Mom and Dad, I love you beyond words, beyond mere descriptions. You are, to me, the epic love story. You are what all of us should strive to be. That even in the bad times, you stay together and you work and you love each other through it, and you create a environment of love for your children to thrive and grow in, and to teach them to thrive and to grow in love through others, because that's what you've taught me. You've taught me that it's okay to not always like yourself, but to come out of that and to know that you are a good person and you are deserving of love and you are a gift from God, and to realize that it is okay to feel the bad things as long as you keep striving to do the good. So this one's dedicated to you, Mom and Dad, Bobby Lynn Harris and Brent Warren Harris Sr. You are one of the epic love stories in time. And here's to hopefully 30 more years plus, and to teaching Brent and I that there is great love in this world. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be messy and sloppy and crazy as long as you continue to try, continue to work hard, and to continue to leave your heart open to all the love in the world and to create that for yourselves and for your family. I love you guys so much. You've made me who I am and Brent who he is. And I think you guys should be proud because he and I do the best to put it out into the world. Everything you've taught us and everything you've given us. So I hope in our own way, he and I are always able to give back to you in the physical, mental, spiritual, and loving side of it all. That we exude the characteristics and the values and the goodness that you guys raised us in. I know I love you. I know Brent loves you. I know Elaine loves you and Grandma too. And so many others. And I am so happy for you guys. I really hope that this is a special one for you guys. I love you. I miss you. Hopefully I'll be home for your anniversary. But if not, I love you and I'm here for you. Always. Thank you for being the best parents a girl could ask for. I love you very much. Bye.